Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are checking out another brand new Jurassic World Rebirth release, but this is another of the Captivz figures. You can see this is the Build and Battle Dinos supersized figure. Now the figures in these are basically the same as the smaller ones, sort of, but again at a bit of a larger size, hence the supersized name. But you can see there is 8 surprises inside. We also have the Jurassic World Rebirth logo right here on the front, and then off to the side you can see a very cool shot of the Spinosaurus. And then if we turn it over here, you can see you can dig through jungle moss, aqua gel, and prehistoric sand to find your supersized surprise dino. And then here on the back it basically shows what is included, as well as, again, the 3 different figures that are in the line, which clearly is a T-Rex, a Mosasaurus, and a Spinosaurus. So definitely excited to see who we have in here. You can see the Jurassic logo right there on the egg. You can also see an eye on the front, and I love this. I forgot how you have to do it, but you can see how the eye kind of blinks and closes. Super cool. So let's pop this open and see who we've got inside. So here is the egg now opened up. First of all, you can see some pretty cool stickers in here. We've got the Jurassic World Rebirth logo. Oh, that one's really neat. We've got like the T-Rex skeleton silhouette, but with a bunch of the different dinosaurs from Rebirth included. You can see like the Aqualops and the Quetzalcoatlus, and again some more really cool stickers over here on the next page. So definitely really fun to have those included. You of course also have all of the different pieces of your dinosaur, and here is the card to tell us who we are taking a look at, though you already know because of the title and thumbnail. But you can see this is the Spinosaurus, and this is the one out of the 3 here that I definitely wanted the most, so really excited for that. And that is an absolutely epic card here for the Spinosaurus. I love the overall layout for it in general, but that artwork is gorgeous. And then here on the back you can see another image of the Spinosaurus here kind of coming in for an attack. Love the fact that they include the cards, and especially when it comes to the supersized figures, because the cards are like your standard sized cards. But as you can see, we have the 3 different areas here that would include the dinosaur. We can see, as I drop it, some of the sail and everything in here on the inside. So we're going to go ahead, pop all of this stuff open. I'll just assemble the Spino and we'll bring it in and check it out. So here is our supersized Spinosaurus, and look at how incredible that is. Man, is that ever absolutely gorgeous. The Captivz line never ceases to amaze me, but this is an absolutely incredible version of the Rebirth Spinosaurus. I kind of wish now, looking at this, that they had included a D-Rex in the supersized figures. That would have been pretty cool. But they absolutely nailed the likeness, the sculpt. Everything looks really good. We've got some gorgeous paint application for the Spinosaurus as well. If we bring it in and take a nice closer look, you can see the head sculpt looks really nice. The texturing to the skin looks great here on the face as well. We have a green eye with a black pupil. You also have some browns for the majority of the color of the Spinosaurus. But you can see some yellowish tones kind of moving through the body here around like the face, and then up into the snout just a little bit here and there. We can see the mouth is open on this Spinosaurus. We have the tongue sticking up, so obviously it's letting out some sort of a vocalization, or maybe coming in for a bite. We could see the teeth. The teeth are all sculpted pretty nicely. You can see a little sloppiness as far as the paintwork goes, but for the most part they look pretty good. We also have a light tone, kind of like an off-white here on the lower jaw, and there's a nice dark wash that's been applied to the figure as well. As we move back, we can see some skin wrinkles and folds and stuff right here in the neck. We can also see the ear of the Spinosaurus right there. But again, the dinosaur does have its head turned toward that direction, so you would expect to see some wrinkling increasing to the skin right there. As you move back, we have some more of that yellowish tone striping down. We can definitely take note to some osteoderms and stuff moving back here through the neck. We can see the throat and everything down here, as well as the lighter tone continuing to follow down through. Of course, since these are kind of pop and lock figures, you sort of can articulate them, at least as far as the neck and the tail goes, with a swivel sort of effect. And as we move back, we can see the yellow lead up and over the top of the sail and continue to stripe down. And when we actually kind of tilt the figure and allow the light to hit it, you can get a really good feel for how nice the texturing actually looks up there in the sail. We have more kind of osteoderms and scutes here following down through the side of the Spinosaurus, more really nice looking skin texture. We can see the dinosaur is kind of currently in a quadrupedal position, but I kind of feel like it's almost like an attempt warped to make it look like it's swimming, sort of. That's my takeaway from it, but maybe not actually. Maybe it's just walking in the water. It almost has sort of like a bipedal stance. I kind of expected this one to potentially be a little bit warped, and it definitely seems to be. So I'll have to try to push that hand out or something to help it balance. But it's definitely currently in a bit of a quadrupedal position. But we can see moving down, we've got the texturing and everything to the skin of the arm looking quite nice. You can also get a nice feel for the musculature as you lead into the fingers. The fingers look really good, and I love the fact that we can actually see the fingers are webbed. That's a really nice touch right there. The claws are also sculpted pretty decently, but unfortunately not painted. As we move back up, we can make out the hip bone right here, as well as some muscle definition moving down the thigh. We can definitely see some more scales popping up as we lead down through the thigh. There is the kneecap in the front. You can even see almost like some creasing to the skin running down the front of the shin. We can see the calf muscle, and then of course the foot sculpt, which also has webbing down the toes. Very nice touch on the part of the Captivz line, or Rebirth, as far as their dinosaur design goes. We can see the claws again, which are again unpainted, but do look pretty nice as far as the sculpt goes. And then we move back up into the tail, and again, as I stated, you can kind of swivel it because it is that pop and lock assembly. But as you lead out, you do have that yellowish tone again continue. It's like a yellowish orange sort of tone, but that follows out through the tail again and stripes down. We also have some of the brown kind of popping up where the yellow is kind of within those areas. We can see a nice turn to the tail, nice curve to the tail. We do have that paddle-like tail like we see on the Spinosaurus in Jurassic World Rebirth, and we can also see that lighter tone does lead out the entire way, and we do have that nice brownish wash helping to dirty up the Spinosaurus a bit. It looks really, really nice as far as the sculpt and the paint goes, honestly. If you look at it from the opposing side, you can kind of see all of the same things as far as what we had seen on the first side. A little bit too much paint probably here in the face of this one as far as the teeth go, but for the most part still looks really good. As we move back, we can see kind of like some tensing in the neck. We can also see the bumpier scales really start to pick up as we lead into the body. Also, the musculature is really shining on this side, especially here in the arm. You can really nicely see it right there. Moving down, you've got the hand sculpted again. The skin stretching here off of the thigh as we lead back. This leg is obviously trailing as the dinosaur is either walking along or potentially swimming. Maybe the foot is just kind of planted on the bottom of the, like ocean floor or something, or the lake floor, river floor, wherever it is. But you can see the light tone of the underside actually does lead down into the arms and legs a little ways, which is pretty cool. Looks like maybe we have a little sloppiness. Yeah, little sloppiness of the paint right there, but doesn't look half bad. And again, we lead out into the tail, which does have that nice curve. So that is an absolutely fantastic looking version of the Rebirth Spinosaurus, and I highly recommend searching out this supersized version of it, except for the fact that, again, it is a bit warped, so it doesn't really stand too well currently. As far as a size goes, though, for a length, you are looking at about 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters, and then for a height, right around 2.5 inches or 6.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Golovosaurus, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect Day Human Being next to our Captivz Supersized Spinosaurus. And you can see, again, it's definitely on the smaller side, but for being a Captivz, it is definitely supersized, no doubt about that. So for another comparison to further show you the size, we actually have the standard version of the Spinosaurus from the Rebirth Captivz, and you can see it's overall pretty similar, but doesn't have the sharp turn in the tail, and also has the mouth closed, but kind of the same as far as like the positioning of the primary body. But you can obviously see, again, the size is quite different between a standard sized version and the supersized version. But we've had plenty of supersized Captivz here on the channel in the past. Just know that this one is pretty much right there in the same size as all of the others. I don't think we need any more comparisons or anything past this point because, again, you should have a pretty good idea at this point, if you've been collecting these, of the size of the supersized Captivz figures. So this brand new Jurassic World Rebirth supersized Captivz Spinosaurus is gorgeous. This is absolutely one of the nicest looking versions of the Rebirth Spinosaurus that I have seen so far, and I feel like every company is really out to outdo everything they've done in the past with these new figures, because this is honestly probably, I would say, one of, if not the best of the Supersized Captivz that they have ever released, and definitely one of the most screen accurate from what I can tell. Sculpt-wise, it is fantastic from head to tail, very nicely replicating the Spino, or one of the Spinos, from Rebirth. Also, the paintwork is super nicely done. Again, for something like this, the only thing that it's lacking is painted claws. That's really about it, because outside of that, I think the entire thing looks really nice as far as the actual application of the paint. Nice patterning. You've got a wash present on the figure to add some realism to it. And again, it just has a really cool look to it in general, with a very nice kind of walking or swimming pose, which is really fun. So, without a doubt, this figure is worth picking up. If you are interested in this, you can grab the Supersized Captivz at Walmart. Again, you don't know which one you're getting when you buy it, so you have to hope that you can get the Spinosaurus, but there's no way to tell ahead of time, unfortunately. No codes or anything for these guys. So head to your local Walmart, try your best to grab this, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.